Hello and welcome to my lymphatic drainage facial massage tutorial. So what you'll need today to do this is a gua sha. This is a small gua sha tool, or you can use a larger gua sha. Either one is absolutely fine. We'll be using this as part of the facial massage routine, and also some facial oil. And today I'm using Neil's Yard Remedies Rehydrating Rose. So your face is to be cleansed and all makeup removed before we start this routine, and you'll need a headband just to keep your hair away from your face. So the first thing we're going to do is apply some oil to our face, and so whatever oil you're using, if it's got a droplet, you'll need probably about, I'd say 3 or 4 on your hands. Rub it together, and to apply the oil on your face, just pat all across the face, the forehead, the cheeks and the chin, just to lubricate the face. And now we're going to take some more oil and apply it on our hands. And with this, rubbing the palms together, we're just going to put the oil down the side and the front of the neck, because we'll start with some warming up of the muscles soon on the neck. So we'll need that for lubrication, and just a little bit more oil now, not just on the palms of the hands, but also the front part, because we'll be using our knuckles as part of the massage routine. So first thing we're going to do is warm up the muscles of the neck, but also by warming up the muscles of the neck, we're starting to stimulate the lymphatic system. So we have lymph nodes behind the ears, and after each section of the massage routine, we'll go back and we'll sort of look to encourage lymphatic drainage by working down the sides of the neck. So with your knuckles well oiled, we're going to start just behind the ears and glide down the side of the neck, working towards the lymph nodes, which sit here just on the sort of collarbone. So gliding down, nice and sort of firm movement, but not too firm where it sort of hurts. And as I say, this area now is going to be warmed up with the movement of this massage, getting us prepared to start the lymphatic drainage sequence. So we'll just do this a few more times using the knuckles, going from the bottom of our ears where the lymph nodes are, draining all the way down to the collar, and then using the palms of our hands to follow suit, gliding down. And then we'll just return to the knuckles, warming up that area. Now you may find that this area starts to turn red, or it starts to feel warm, which is great. It means it's sort of ready to start the routine. Okay, so once we've done that a few times, you can see mine sort of started to go red. We're going to start with the knuckles, hands clenched, and we're going to begin at the centre of our forehead, and we're going to work all the way up to the top part of the head. So gliding up, this sort of fanning movement all the way up the centre of the forehead. So just working the centre of the forehead all the way up. And then you can start in between the brows and glide up. Now the idea behind this movement is to help with the detoxification, but also boost circulation of the forehead. It helps also to smooth all the lines, so it allows the face to look nice and relaxed. Because as you know, the face really holds a lot of tension, and it certainly shows how you're feeling. So, you know, by having lots of lines on the forehead, it sort of gives the impression that you're angry even when you're not. So it would be nice for all of us just to have a nice sort of smooth forehead. So we just carry on working upwards. We'll just do this 3 more times. And then we'll just stop at the centre. Again, using our fists, knuckles, we're going to glide from the centre of the forehead out to the temple. Again, centre, out to the temple. And we'll do that 1 more time. Centre of the forehead, gliding out to the temple. Now at the top of the forehead, we repeat that move, gliding out to the temple, returning and gliding out to the temple. One more time. And then we look to begin at the bottom of the forehead, just above the brow line. Starting at the centre and gliding out to the temple. And we'll start from the centre of the forehead and we'll repeat that sequence now. So we'll do 3 times in each of the sections. So the centre, now looking at the top, and now looking at the bottom. Now that we've come to complete the sequence of the forehead, we return to the bottom of the ears where the lymph nodes are, and we just look to knuckle down the side of the neck to encourage the lymphatic drainage of all that's been released in the forehead. You can come to the front of the neck as well, just avoiding the larynx there, and again at the side of the neck. At the front of the neck, really good for the neck as well, to receive massage, and then using the palms of our hands to smooth over what we've just stimulated there. Okay, we're now going to work with the brow line. Okay, so starting from the inside of the brow, I'd like you to use your thumb underneath and your index finger on top. And the idea is that you squeeze, pull up, release, and work along the brow doing this movement. Squeeze, pull up, release. Squeeze, pull up, release. Squeeze, pull up, release. And one more time, squeeze, pull up, release. We do this for a few more times. And what we're doing here is looking to lift this brow line, helping with any sort of saggy overhang of our eyelids, plumping up all the collagen and elastin that often sort of starts to diminish when we're sort of in our mid-40s reaching perimenopausal state. So this is a really good way of sort of stimulating the collagen and elastin and increasing blood flow and circulation to this area. I'd probably do this about 6 times. So squeeze, pull, release. You can take your time. Okay, great. And then we curl our index finger and we just glide across the brow bone. We'll probably do this sort of 6 or 8 times. And then we look to repeat the squeeze, pull, release. So we do it again, squeeze, pull, release. Squeeze, pull, release. Squeeze, pull, release. Squeeze, pull, release. 3 times. And the last time. Try and relax your brows as you're doing it rather than sort of raise your brows with the move. So it might help if you just sort of take your gaze downwards just to release the brow line so you can sort of work with it, and then just complete this move with the brow glide sort of 6 to 8 times, quite firmly gliding down to the temple, followed by a lymphatic drainage move that I'm sure you're becoming familiar with now. Down the ears, down the side, the front of the neck. Repeat at the side of the neck, front of the neck, followed by the palms. The hands gliding down. If you need to apply more oil, if you feel like you haven't applied enough oil, please do apply more oil, because what we don't want to be doing is pulling or dragging the skin. The hands should be gliding across the skin. So, you know, the amount of oil to use is going to be a personal amount to you, your face. Okay, so now what we're going to do is work in between the eye sockets here, just in between the bone of the bridge of the nose. We're going to curl our index fingers and we're going to just put that slot them into that sort of eye socket either side, and we're just going to lean our head into our fingers and sort of carry out circle moves here, like you're giving the inside of the sockets of your eyes a massage. And this is really good for any head tension, eye strain. Yeah, and when you're sort of doing it, you don't realise how tired that area is. So we just keep working in sort of circle moves. If you want to go the other way, you can. We'll just do that a few more times. And then once we come to a sort of finish here, using the glide on the underbrow now, with the index curled finger, we just glide out. We just sort of do that. Sort of maybe up to 6 times. Keeping our heads sort of bowed down as I'm doing. And then we return back and we just do this move again, giving that area just a lovely, deep sort of massage in there to just reduce all that tension we hold. And again, gliding out from the underbrow. Okay, and after each sequence, as you now know, we go back to the neck and we look to knuckle down, encouraging all that flow of the toxins that we're raising to the surface out into the lymphatic system. And then followed by the palms of our hands. Okay. I'm just going to apply a little bit more oil because I feel like it's in need of it. So I'm just going to use a couple of drops now, rather than have too much on my face. So again, just pat rather than vigorously sort of rub, just pat. It gives the same sort of effect. Okay, so now what we're going to work on is the under eye section. As you know, this part of the face, you know, is very sensitive and the skin is very thin. So just go careful when we're working on that area. There are 2 moves we're going to do. We're going to use our knuckles to sort of massage out, followed by a gliding movement. So what we're going to do, we're going to put our hands in our sort of knuckle move in between the brow, the bridge of the nose, and just under that under eye area, we're looking just to sort of massage out and fan out as I'm doing here, all the way up to the top of the ear. Okay, so you're actually working on the bone of your face, using that as a guide and fanning out. So don't go too hard where it hurts, but firm enough to feel that you're stimulating the skin or what's under the skin. And you know, we forget that the skin actually is an organ of the body. So, you know, by working the skin really gives the effects of a healthy, radiant glow. And, you know, unlike the heart that has a valve, the lymphatic system doesn't. So the more we encourage the lymphatic system sort of work by carrying out regular facial massages, the more able your body is to eliminate all the waste and toxins. So I'll probably do this sort of between 12 and 15 times. And it shouldn't really be giving you any sort of pressure on your wrists or your hands. If it is, you're pressing too hard. And you can go sort of in quite a fast move like I am, or you can really slow it down. And you know, again, it's entirely up to you how you wish to work with your face. Okay, so after this move, we're now going back to the starting position and we're gliding out with the knuckles. Now, if you'd rather not use your knuckles, you can use your fingers. And if you didn't want to do the knuckle move like this, you could use again your fingers. You can just work with what technique works best for you. Now this is also good for helping release any puffiness around this area. In reflexology terms, this is where the kidney reflex is. So if we're holding fluid retention or we're dehydrated, you'll find that this area will be quite puffy and saggy. So this massage move is really good for that. Okay, you can go back and repeat this movement 12 to 15 times if you wish, followed by the gliding out. So it all depends on how much time you've got as to how many sort of repetitions you do on each area. We go back to the drainage underneath the ears, working the lymph nodes down into the collarbone and using the palms of our hands just to smooth that out. Now we're going to work on the nose area. We're going to use our index fingers curling under, and we're going to go either side of the nostril, and we're working the sinuses. So the idea behind this move is to help clear any congestion we have in the sinus area, especially this time of year. Hay fever, other allergies come into play. So it's a really good way of clearing the airways. So knuckle the index finger either side of the nostril, and we look to just sort of press quite firmly in and massage circular moves. I can feel already a clearing in my nose as we just carry on. Circular moves. Now after about sort of 10 to 12 moves, we look to glide out with our index finger all the way under the cheekbone, out to the top of the ear. And we do that again. I do about 10 and then massage it out. And then knuckle down the side of the neck. Front of the neck. And then palms to smooth over. Now we're going to work the cheekbones, underneath the cheekbones. So similar move, same move from what we've been doing under the eyes, now under the cheeks. So just following your cheekbones, knuckle massage out towards the temple. And again, I'd probably do this 12 to 15 times. Now you may find that you're sort of really stimulating the face now. There'll be redness, maybe some heat. It's all good signs that things are being brought to the surface. Very good hangover massage to do, especially when the face can be quite puffy after all the alcohol. So you can always do this in the morning and in the evening to help the flush of all what the body needs to get rid of. Okay, and then follow by the glide move all the way up to the temple, up to the temple. And again, if you don't want to use your knuckles, put your hand in a prayer move, like so, glide down your nose and then up. Really lifting the cheeks as you do. See what I'm doing? All the way up to the temple. And repeating that move again, depending on how much time you've got and how much you want to sort of work this area of the face. I'll just sort of do 6 moves here now. Sorry. And again, glide out. And now as we finish that sequence, we look to knuckle down the side of the neck and the front of the neck. This also helps with any neck tension we hold, and it really helps to relieve and warm up the muscles there. I have a lot of work to do in keeping our head on our shoulders, literally, and allowing us to be mobile in our direction. Okay, we've done the forehead, the brow, the eyes, under eyes, nose, cheek. We're now going to work on the jawline. So we're going to just get hold of our chin, thumbs underneath the chin, fingers on top. We're simply going to smooth out to the bottom of our ears, and just smooth that area out quite firmly, taking a hold at the chin and gliding out. A really good way of sort of face sculpting, working with that jawline. If anybody holds any tension in the jaw, if you grit your teeth or grind your teeth, or just got general tension in the mandibular, I can't say it, the jaw, mandibular, that's what I was trying to say, mandibular. Okay, just carry on there. And you can sort of use a knuckle move, but it's more of a sort of pressing up. And so you can alternate between the knuckle move and the glide. And after we've finished this move, we're then going to use our hands, starting with the heel of our hands, and then make big circular moves up, moved in the cheek, over to the temple and down. Look at that. Make our face go all funny. Relax our face, massage up and over. And then fan out. And gently scooping up all that loose skin and smoothing it out, ironing it out. Wouldn't that be nice? Up to the temple. And then back to the prayer movement, gliding your hands down the bridge of the nose and out. And then with the heels of our hand, we're just going to give our temples here a bit of attention, giving it really nice, big, slow, firm, circular move. And I'd probably go back and do maybe this again, gliding out from the chin, followed by the knuckle up, followed by the heels of the hand, really sort of scooping everything up and out, up and out, up and out, prayer down the nose and up. Don't forget to breathe. And then the heel of the hand, massaging the temple. Lovely. And then just giving our sort of face some gentle but firm stroking moves, always going up and then knuckle down to finish. Oh, that was a workout, wasn't it? Now, what I'm going to show you to just sort of finish this sequence off is a bit of gua sha. So we've completed the lymphatic massage routine on the face, covering each of the sections of the face. So we're now going to do a bit of gua sha. So again, you may want to apply some more oil. If you feel you've got enough oil on your face, that's fine. I'll start with the small gua sha. Now this will be after carrying out a vigorous face massage routine such as that. Will be really cooling. You can leave this in your fridge if you want to, so it gives an even more nice cooling effect. But as soon as you start working with the face, it will just give you that initial coolness after creating so much fire in our body. So we're going to start with one side of the face, leaning this part of the gua sha. You've got one that's going out and one that's sort of coming in. The bit that's going in sort of lean against your nose. And the idea is that we just sort of look to scrape out to the temple. Now, we're not doing this particularly really hard. We're just sort of pressing down on the face and the skin and we're gliding over the skin. So don't allow the skin to be pulled or sort of, you know, stretched as such. So make sure that you've got enough oil on your face. So it's a gliding motion rather than a pulling motion. And I'm just working really under the under eye area at the moment. So we can sort of do sections of the face with the gua sha like we did with the massage. So just working under the under eye, even though it's sort of covering this bit here as well, intending to focus just under the eye. And you'd look to repeat that on this side, all the way across. And up to the top of the face, top of the cheekbone there. And now I'm concentrating on the middle part of the face. So working across the cheeks. Again, you know, pressing down on the skin firm, but not to the point where it's sort of hurting. You may find that there are some areas under the skin that feel quite tender or quite congested. I can feel it a little bit under this area here, and I think it's my sinuses. So we'll go back and sort of revisit those areas in a moment, because the gua sha can help to release the toxins that have been building up in the face. I'm just going to go back and repeat this motion, middle part of the face, going over the cheeks. And now under the cheeks. So we're now covering that bottom part. Now this is the part for me where my skin is sagging here, loose skin. So this is where the gua sha can be really good in helping to sort of plump up this area, looking to reduce fine lines. I mean, just, you know, give the face a bit more radiance look on this side. Now I'm going to use this part of the gua sha, looks like a bottom, and I'm going to wedge my chin in between that, and I'm going to look to glide one side of the face across the jawline, right up to the ear, and the other side. This is really good for face sculpting and giving us that lovely sort of chiseled look. Get rid of all the sagging that's going on in the jawline. You may hear a lot of crunching going on. Obviously you're on a very bony part of the face, our jawline. Don't be put off by that. Just go for it. Again, you can do this as many times as you like. I tend to do sequences of 6, so I'll do 6 on that side, 6 on this side of the under eye area, and then I'll go back and do another 6, and then I'll go to the next section, do 6, 6, 6, 6, and then the bottom part again 6, and repeat it, and then the jawline. And then once you've done that, we scrape down as we would with our knuckles, but we're just using the gua sha. You can either use the bit that goes in, or you can use the bit that goes out, it really doesn't matter. Just be careful as you come over the front. It can be quite sort of, not sharp, but you know, it's different. Using your hand and down. And then you can use the tip of the gua sha to literally rub across the forehead. Try and relax your forehead whilst you're doing it. And rather than do this or this, this, just relax it. And we're just really giving this stimulation. Imagine that you're just sort of colouring in all of this area. You can just close your eyes and bow your head down as you're doing it. For those people who've got really sort of, you know, severe sort of frown lines, work your frown lines. I suppose you could frown and just sort of see where they are, but then just release it and work across here. And then again, for the eye, you can sort of just stretch your skin up and then work across the wrinkle area. And again here. And then here. where you can see I've got a bit of a gel. I literally sort of hold it, maybe put your lips, work around it, and then glide up, sweep up, work around any problem area that you've got, literally just by, you can see my face has gone quite red, and then you can just sort of use the flat of the gua sha just to sort of almost smooth over any area. So that's just sort of a basic routine of how you can use it on different sections of the face. But if you particularly like the jawline one, you can just sort of work with it like just the jaw. If you want to do the cheek ones, eyes, so on. So I suggest, you know, realistically, you probably haven't got time to do that every evening or every morning, but if you can try and do that massage routine at least 3 times over the week, increase your fluid intake, and use good, you know, facial products to support your skin, you will start to look differently and notice the difference yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. I will be doing another one on facelift, and I'll also be doing another one on Indian head massage, and I may just do another one on an actual facial routine, so the cleansing, the toning, exfoliating and so on, just to give you an idea of what I do. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I welcome any feedback. Okay, thank you.